Since his appointment at Rangers, he's been at the center of some of the most memorable highs and the most painful lows the club has seen in recent years. Ruthless decisions, bold tactical changes, and an unrelenting demand for intensity brought back a sense of identity at times, but those same qualities have also led to shocking performances that left fans stunned. Now, with the season reaching its most crucial stretch, the narrative is shifting. Behind the scenes, it appears the Rangers board has already identified a potential replacement for Barry Ferguson, with Russell Martin emerging as a serious candidate to take the reins. And as Ferguson inches closer to the end of his interim spell, all eyes are on what comes next for the Ibrox side. At the same time chaos brews off the pitch, Bilbao is bracing for impact. Ahead of Rangers' massive Europa League quarterfinal second leg against Athletic Club, the Basque authorities have launched a full-scale security operation. More than 5,000 Rangers fans are expected to descend upon the Spanish city, although less than 3,000 actually have tickets to the game. And with Greek supporters also set to arrive for a high-profile basketball clash involving Bilbao Basket, the local police are treating this week as a full-blown dress rehearsal for next month's Europa League final. Every officer from the Basque police force has been ordered to cancel leave, and they'll be on full alert for both major sporting events. Authorities haven't forgotten the violent clashes during the previous round involving Roma supporters, and they're determined to avoid a repeat. Rangers fans will be escorted to the stadium a full 3 hours before kickoff, starting from a designated area near the Guggenheim Museum. What's more, they'll be held inside the stadium after full time for an unspecified period, a move meant to reduce the chances of confrontations in the streets. Athletic Club has also issued its own set of guidelines for supporters, announcing that the operation will involve close coordination between the club, local police, and city officials. The main focus will be the area surrounding the iconic San Mamés Stadium, where authorities plan to enforce a range of safety measures designed to protect both home and away fans as well as the general public. Bilbao isn't just treating this as another European night, it's a test run for hosting the final itself, and the stakes are sky high. Meanwhile, the conversation around Barry Ferguson's successor has gained serious traction. Russell Martin, a familiar face to Rangers fans from his short loan spell back in 2018, is now firmly on the radar. Despite a difficult run at Southampton that saw him dismissed last December after securing just one win in 16 Premier League matches, Martin remains highly regarded in coaching circles. He's built a reputation for his possession-based progressive style of play, an approach he successfully implemented at MK Dons Swansea and even with the Saints during their championship campaign that led to promotion via the playoffs. That same style has reportedly caught the attention of Rangers' potential new owners, the American investment group 4049ers Enterprises. They're said to be keen on steering the club towards a more modern football identity, one that prioritizes ball retention, structured build-up, and tactical flexibility. Martin's philosophy seems to fit that vision perfectly. While there are whispers of interest from English championship clubs like Leicester City, a return to Scotland, especially with the prospect of Champions League football, could prove far more tempting. Speaking on a podcast recently, Martin shared his eagerness to return to management, admitting he feels ready and excited about taking on a new challenge. He didn't hide his ambition, either stating that his ultimate goal is to manage in Europe's top competitions. And with Ferguson's departure expected at the end of the campaign, the stars may be aligning for Martin to step into the Ibrox hot seat just as a new era dawns. But the focus isn't only on who might be arriving. Inside the dressing room, big decisions are already being made, particularly in goal. Jack Butland, once hailed as one of the Scottish Premiership's standout players, now finds himself on the outside looking in. Dropped for the first leg against Athletic Club in favor of Liam Kelly, the former Motherwell captain Butland was also left on the bench for the weekend's dramatic draw with Aberdeen. That's 2 big games in a row where Ferguson has chosen experience and reliability over the more high-profile name. The message is clear: nothing is guaranteed. Butland's performances this season have come under increasing scrutiny, and Ferguson, who's always been willing to make tough calls, seems prepared to stick with Kelly for now. It's a new challenge for the 32-year-old, who's no stranger to pressure, but now finds himself in unfamiliar territory, battling not just for form, but for a place in the side altogether. Speaking on a podcast of his own, Butland opened up about the emotional weight of playing for Rangers. It's not just the expectation to win, it's the emotional toll that comes with every loss, every mistake, every setback. He explained that in England, you might lose a game, have a bad day, and life goes on. But at Rangers, defeat feels like the end of the world. You feel it in the dressing room at home with your family. The weight of those expectations follows you everywhere. He talked about canceling plans, skipping rounds of golf, staying indoors, because when things go wrong on the pitch, they go wrong in your personal life too. Your kids hear about it at school. Your partner deals with it on social media, and the pressure never truly lets up. That's the reality of being a Rangers player. And yet, despite it all, he also admitted that the demands of a club are what make it so special. The fans don't just want results. They want effort, desire, a willingness to fight for every ball. If you give that, they'll back you no matter what. Butland was honest about how little could prepare him for the intensity of life at Ibrox. Watching games on TV, even attending matches, doesn't come close to the lived experience of being in that dressing room, representing that badge and carrying that weight. Yeah, he believes Scottish football deserves more respect for how demanding it is both mentally and physically. And with his place in the team hanging in the balance, he knows that every result now shapes not just Rangers' future, but his own as well. The coming weeks will likely define not only the short-term fate of Rangers, but also shape the long-term trajectory of a club that remains in transition. Barry Ferguson's position, while still technically interim, looks more temporary with each passing day. And with the noise around Russell Martin growing louder, it feels as though the wheels are already turning behind the scenes. But amid all the speculation, the team still has battles to fight, on the pitch, in the stands, and even within the squad itself. Ferguson is no stranger to pressure. He's lived and breathed this club for decades, and that familiarity has certainly helped him in navigating turbulent moments. But now, the weight of every decision is being magnified. Every substitution, every tactical tweak, every post-match comment is analyzed through the lens of is he staying or going? And in many ways, this uncertainty has filtered down to the players, especially those like Jack Butland, who are caught in the eye of the storm. Butland's omission against Athletic Club sent shockwaves through the support. For many, he'd been one of the few consistent performers during a campaign full of ups and downs. So when Liam Kelly got the nod, questions were immediate and relentless. Was it tactical? Was it disciplinary? Or was it simply a manager going with a gut feeling? Whatever the reason, the consequences are now playing out in real time. Kelly's presence between the sticks for the Aberdeen draw only added fuel to the fire, especially after a performance that left much to be debated. Butland's emotional interview has done little to calm the waters. If anything, it exposed just how raw and personal the experience of being a Rangers player can be. He didn't sugarcoat anything. From missed family moments to cancelled plans and the never-ending spotlight, it's clear that playing in Glasgow is unlike anywhere else. It's not just about football. It's about living under a microscope where the badge you wear dictates how your week and your family's week is going to go. For fans, that level of commitment and honesty from a player means something. It strikes a chord. Rangers supporters demand excellence, but they also respect vulnerability when it's genuine. Butland's words reminded many of what it truly means to represent the club, not just in front of 50,000 at Ibrox, but when you're walking through the supermarket, dropping your kids off at school, or trying to enjoy a rare day off. And maybe, just maybe, those words will buy him a bit of time as he fights to regain his spot. Meanwhile, the managerial search is beginning to take on a life of its own. Russell Martin's name won't go away, and each new report adds more weight to the possibility. For all his struggles at Southampton in the Premier League, his rise through the coaching ranks has been defined by a clear identity. He believes in dominating the ball, in controlling games through rhythm and structure, and in giving players the freedom to express themselves within that system. It's a vision that could mesh well with the direction Rangers seem to be moving towards, especially if the 49ers Enterprises Group finalizes their involvement. Ownership changes are never simple, and this one has been no different. While nothing has been officially confirmed, all signs point to a significant shift in how the club will be run moving forward. Modernization, sustainability, and long-term planning appear to be the buzzwords, words that align neatly with what Martin represents as a coach. If the stars do align, it could be a transformative moment for the club. A young progressive manager leading a revitalized team into European competition, backed by a fresh ownership group with big ideas. It's the kind of scenario that could re-energize a fan base that's grown tired of false dawns. But before any of that becomes reality, there's still a Europa League tie to finish. Athletic Club are no pushovers, and Ibrox will need to be at its ferocious best if Rangers are to overturn the deficit. These are the nights that define legacies. They also expose weaknesses. Barry Ferguson knows that, so do his players. And if he's to have any hope of convincing the board or the incoming investors that he deserves the job full time, then pulling off something special on Thursday might just be the only way. The fans, for their part, will travel in numbers and in voice. The thousands heading to Bilbao know what's at stake. They know what it means to stand in a foreign city wrapped in blue, singing until their voices give out. They've done it before. They'll do it again. And even if only a fraction of them have tickets, their presence will be felt. It always is. Rangers supporters don't just show up, they take over. Security concerns aside, these traveling fans are fuel for the players. The sight of that sea of blue in enemy territory has lifted this team time and again. And as Bilbao prepares to lock down its streets and monitor every movement, the focus for the Rangers squad is singular win, by any means necessary. Because in Europe, there's no room for hesitation. One slip, one missed chance, and a dream ends. And for players like Butland, it's about redemption. About proving that one bad stretch doesn't define you, and that you're still the man for the big moments. For Ferguson, it's about legacy. He's already etched his name in the Rangers' history as a player. As a manager, even in an interim role, he now stands at a fork in the road. Deliver something special in Europe, and perhaps the story continues. Fall short, and the club likely moves in a new direction, one marked by youth ambition and modern ideas. Even as speculation swirls, training continues. Behind the scenes, preparations are intense. Every drill, every meeting, every bit of video analysis carries weight. The mood is tense but focused. The players know what's at stake. They know that a poor performance on Thursday could bring an end not just to their European campaign, but to Ferguson's time at the helm. And yet there's still belief, the kind of belief that only comes from playing for Rangers, that no matter how tough the task, no matter the odds, there's always a chance, always a fight to be had. The fans expect it, the badge demands it, and when those players step out under the lights in Bilbao, they won't just be representing a club, they'll be carrying the hopes of thousands across Scotland, across Europe, in every pub, living room, and supporters bus heading south. There are moments in football that define careers, that shape futures, that live in highlight reels and supporters' memories forever. Thursday night in Bilbao could be one of those moments. For Butland, for Ferguson, for Rangers. The season has already had its share of twists, but there's room for one more story, one more fight, one more European night under the lights. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Whispers are swirling around Ibrox, and they're getting louder by the day. Just months after arriving in Scotland to join Rangers, Dutch centre-back PRÖPPER is already eyeing the exit. What could drive a seasoned professional? 1. Who's captained clubs in the Netherlands and even scored in an Old Firm derby to consider walking away so soon? Let's take a closer look at what's really going on behind the scenes. PRÖPPER arrived in Glasgow last August carrying with him the pedigree of a seasoned Eredivisie warrior. Having captained sides like De Graafschap, Heracles Almelo, and FC Twente, PRÖPPER was expected to bring leadership, stability, and experience to the Rangers' backline. But his time in the Scottish Premiership has been anything but straightforward. From an unfortunate debut own goal to a stunning strike against Celtic, his performances have swung between frustration and brilliance, mirroring his current state of mind perhaps. Sources close to the player suggest the adaptation has been tougher than expected. The pace of the Scottish game, the intense scrutiny from fans, and the relentless pressure to deliver silverware may be weighing on the Dutchman. While he hasn't spoken publicly, it's believed that PRÖPPER has told those around him he's not entirely settled in Glasgow and may be open to a move away as soon as this summer. The Rangers board, for their part, are said to be aware of the situation, but remain hopeful of convincing PRÖPPER to stay and fight for his place. With key fixtures ahead and the club still chasing silverware, his experience could prove invaluable. But if his heart is no longer in it, should Rangers hold on to a player who's already looking over the fence? For now, fans are left wondering, was PRÖPPER ever truly at home in Glasgow? Or was this simply a stopover in a longer journey, one that may soon lead him back to the Netherlands or perhaps a new challenge abroad? One thing is certain, the summer transfer window could bring more than just speculation for the towering Dutchman in blue. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.